The U.S. men's national team making news. They've lined up a friendly against Brazil June 12th in Orlando. We already knew they would face Colombia June 8th in Landover, Maryland. So Colombia and Brazil will be the two pre-Copa America friendlies.
I mean, this is great. So now you're talking, over here in the last year, you'll have Germany, you'll have Brazil, you'll have Colombia, like we mentioned. Obviously, they'll play Uruguay in the group stage. And then who knows, maybe some of these teams twice when it comes to getting out of there. But this is what the U.S. men's national team needs. This is what Greg Berhalter told us last week when he was on the show. And by the way, if you didn't check that out, definitely download that and listen to it because it's really enlightening, I think. It gets a glimpse into what he is thinking and the person that he is now. But, he told us they need to be able to compete against the elites. That's that next step. Well, the only way that you get better at doing that is having more and more games against elite teams. So, well done. Producer Sean was reminding us when we came on air that if you remember maybe way back in the previous century when our U.S. Olympic hockey team beat the Russians. They actually played Russia before the big tournament, got their ass kicked, but then on the day in the actual Olympic tournament, they famously beat Russia. So this will be a good warm-up for the U.S. against a very, very good team. And there will be the short-term benefits that they have, and it might be relative to the Copa America, but also the long-term benefits of getting as many different games against the best possible competition they can, again, in the context of not qualifying, and so they will be few and far between.
Yeah, the U.S. initially wanted to avoid facing teams on the same side of the Copa America bracket, but it sounds like they explored other options and then circled back and said, let's just get the best teams we can get, and if we happen to face them again in the Copa America, so be it. So that's how you end up with Colombia and Brazil.
Before the one more thing, before the 1994 World Cup, we played all three of the teams that we actually ended up facing in the World Cup, and it was good again to get an idea of what these teams were about. Now they got an idea of what we were too, so there were no secrets when we went on the field, but we were desperate to play anybody and everybody.
By the way, if you want to feel old, I saw Bebeto interviewed on Brazilian television the other day. It was in honor of his 60th birthday.
He turned 60, really?
Yes.
Oh, man. That means that the child that he was celebrating in the 94 World Cup is, a 30-something, right?
Bebeto, of course, scored the winner in the round of 16 in 94 when Brazil beat the U.S. 1-0. 19 previous meetings, 1 win for the U.S., 18 wins for Brazil. You were part of the one U.S. win at the 1998 Gold Cup semis. Casey Keller, Romario, remember that famous game? Mm-hmm. This will be win number 2, my friend. So I'm going to congratulate you ahead of time.
But you're saying that because you have never been at a point where you are less confident about your Brazilian team, right?
Rome is burning, my friend. Rome is burning. Brazil lost their last 3 matches of 2023, and the 2 games in March are against England at Wembley, live on Fox, and against Spain at the Bernabeu. So there's a pretty good chance we're going to go into the June window on a 5-game losing streak, and then Brazil will face Mexico June 8th at Texas A&M Stadium. I think it's called Kyle Field. And then June 12th, the U.S. in Orlando, which does have a heavy Brazilian population. It's where Bolsonaro hangs out whenever he goes to the U.S. So it'll probably be a decidedly pro-Brazilian crowd that day. But nevertheless, I think the U.S. will win.
All right, so some good things cooking going forward for the U.S. men's team in terms of competition. You like that clip? Well, my State of the Union podcast drops twice a week right here on my very own YouTube page. The only way to stay up to date is to hit that subscribe button down below. Size the day, and see you soon.